Hey, what's up everybody? This is Liz Katz, and today I wanted to discuss being a mom of a pandemic baby. Now, we all can hear and assume that things with pandemic babies are a little bit different, and I wanted to share my own experiences, being that I previously have had a child over a decade ago, and then now having my pandemic baby, Babylirious, and another one on the way. So a little background, Babylirious was actually conceived before the pandemic, probably around New Year's Eve, right before the pandemic. And then around month 3 of my pregnancy, we started hearing all about COVID. And then by month 4 in LA, I was in full lockdown. Not able to get any of my pregnancy cravings because of it. No massages, no prenatal yoga classes, no things that, coming from a first world country, I kind of was hoping to be able to get for my pregnancy. There was none of that for Babylirious. But still, despite all this, Babylirious was born happy and healthy in September of last year. But since getting home and growing up to now being 11 months old, it's been quite a different experience with a pandemic baby. For starters, there is just this isolation feeling. A lot of stuff has opened up for babies and little kids, and mommy me classes are back. However, I'm an abundance of caution kind of person right now. Though I myself am vaccinated, Babylirious cannot be vaccinated, and I just worry about her. So we haven't really gotten to do any of those socialization opportunities, meeting people outside the house. I did finally start taking her on off hours to stores that aren't busy. We avoid certain stores. We wouldn't go to like Walmart or anything like that, but we took her to a Hallmark store to buy cards and a Bath and Body Works when there was no one else there. So we have been doing little trips like that, only because she has such a problem from not doing them that it's such a big deal to her. I've mentioned this before, Babylirious hates the car. And I think a lot of people misunderstood as to why that is. They think, oh, she must be getting car sick. But it's not because Babylirious feels car sick. She just does not like being strapped in away from me and being strapped down where she cannot move. She doesn't like cribs either. She doesn't like her play yard if she's closed in and no one else is in there with her. She doesn't like the feeling of confinement. She doesn't like being forced to having a diaper change where you're holding her down. If you want her this way, she wants to go the other way. And she will fight and fight and fight. So in the car seat, she's there like a little baby Hulk trying to push out, screaming and crying. Me having to drive the car makes it even worse because I'm not even back there to comfort her, but it really wouldn't matter anyway, because the one time I was back there to comfort her, she was just looking at me like screaming, saying, unbuckle this thing. So we are making those little trips out here and there, but for the first, I'd say 9 months, we did not, except for doctor's appointments, which there are many of for a newborn and a baby in general. There weren't many trips places. We've done some site visits. We're having a new home built, so we did site visits because they were outside. We've done outside walks around the neighborhood and walks around the park outside. But there hasn't really been a lot where she sees many other people. And family members, too. We hadn't had any family over until finally the end of June. We had my parents, her grandparents come out, who are both vaccinated and who were both very, very careful leading up to coming down here to seeing us. Babylirious, when she met her grandparents, though, was so like, what is this? Like, what are these people? Are they staying? How long are they staying? She was very iffy. She wouldn't let them hold her for a while. She did eventually warm up, especially to her grandmother, and now she loves her grandmother on FaceTime. She really loves talking to her grandmother on FaceTime. She just starts cracking up. For some reason, Babylirious is scared of guys' faces on FaceTime now, so whether it be her brother or my dad, she just looks at them and is like, and then just keeps looking away and like hiding. Babylirious has not seen another baby her own age up close. We've seen a few people walk by with strollers and I've done like the wave thing, but I don't think she's really noticed or seen the baby in there. So I don't know if she knows there's other babies. Obviously, when her sibling comes, she's gonna realize there are. But there really hasn't been a lot of that socialization, which with my first child, I did go to the mommy and me classes. We did do as a little gym. Honestly, I don't know at this stage how much that really matters for development. When she's closer to being 1.5 or 2 is when I will definitely put aside all those concerns and set up some sort of ability where she can meet someone her age and be able to socialize and explore and everything. So right now I just don't think it's worth the risk. Also, she's kind of a biter and kicker and she's not understanding no yet, or don't do that, that hurts, and she's not really understanding. Even if you do no in an angry voice, she just laughs. She doesn't quite get that the no is a bad thing or ow is a bad thing, or even that an angry tone is a bad thing yet. She just thinks you're playing. So that might not be the best thing for around other kids anyway. But it is kind of disappointing because next month is going to be her first birthday, and I wanted to do a big birthday thing, and she loves Blue's Clues, so do a Blue's Clues themed, but we wouldn't invite anyone. We're doing something separate, like with my parents coming and my sister coming and just doing a visit, but that's not really a big party, and there's no one her age, and it's not quite the big Instagram worthy birthday bash I had envisioned for Babylirious' first birthday. But at the same time, I don't think she would appreciate that kind of big to do with a lot of people because she hasn't been exposed to a lot of people. She would really get that stranger anxiety in that situation. And that's why I'm kind of making that effort with family now, trying to be as careful as we can to at least expose her to some other people in the house to try to get that stranger danger feeling down a little bit, or people outside her home feeling down, because she is just so high strung. On the day-to-day basis with a pandemic baby, it is a bit different. For her first 10 months, it was just me taking care of her, really. I mean, she had her dad too, but I think most moms know how helpful most dads are. So it was mostly me. He's there, he gives hugs and he loves her, but when it comes to taking care of needs and changing diapers and lack of sleep, it was me for 10 months straight. No help. Nothing. Finally cave this summer though, and she did start with a nanny this month, which is how I've been able to record videos again and how I'm starting to work on my website again to get it back up and running. And she has been absolutely amazing. I'll do a video about hiring a nanny and my decision to do that another time. That's a whole thing in itself. I had a lot of anxieties about that, but I am so happy I did because it took a while for her to adjust to that. But she's finally warmed up now to someone else who's not just me or Delirious and her brother, but now she's finally warmed up to someone who isn't just a member of our immediate family. And now I can finally get work done again and go run errands and go to the bank and stuff again and take a shower, because it was rough. And because of COVID, daycare obviously was not an option. And also because of the type of baby she is, she just would not do well in a daycare environment right now. She needs a little more time to adjust to people, which she's not going to get a lot of until it gets a little safer. Now, that's not to say that, like, oh, you're keeping your baby hidden inside and it's being detrimental for the baby. Babylirious is an extremely happy kid. Honestly, she is always giggling. We are always playing. Even when she's with the nanny, they're always doing stuff and playing. We do go outside and hang out and play outside and go on walks. It's not this we're inside some sort of sterile environment all alone, just sitting there not doing anything. There is a lot of happiness and activities and joy. It's just different than what you would normally think with, like, you know, the infant classes and the toddler classes and the daycare. It's just a different experience. And now expecting a second pandemic baby. Clearly the first having a pandemic baby thing wasn't too bad. or I probably would have been more careful. I'm actually super excited to have a second one because they will have each other. They will be able to be each other's best friends too. Even if, let's say, things got worse and we had to kind of hunker down more again versus what we're doing, we're kind of going out more. So if we had to do that again, which I guess we kind of do, they, in the months after this baby is born, will be able to actually play and be close and have each other. And that is the one good thing about having two kids so close together. Now, I do have to also add a disclaimer that this is my own experience and we are very fortunate. We have a lot of playthings for Babylirious to play with, a lot of things to do around here, and a lot of space that we can do things with. I can't imagine what it's like for people who are in smaller places or in tiny apartments and don't have that sense of space. And I can definitely see why more of those sorts of people would be venturing out more. And trust me, I understand. I've had a studio apartment before. I've rented rooms out of other people's apartment before. I've even lived in someone's living area sectioned off by a curtain that we called the fort before. I've couch surfed before, so I understand the need to get out and do things and take, more risk, while other people will be like, oh, why don't you just stay inside? Like I'm saying, why don't you just stay inside? But I understand all of our situations aren't the same. And especially with a small child or a baby with it, sometimes you just need to get out of the house. Doctor appointments have been a little weird, because especially for these little doctor visits, when they're reaching these milestones, getting their shots, it's one of those things that you kind of want to bring the baby's father with too if they're not working. Like, I would love to bring Delirious to them, but most of these doctors have a rule with one parent at a time. And a lot of them have it so you can't even bring a sibling in, so that's another reason I'm very thankful we have a nanny now, because I don't know how without someone else I would be able to bring one baby to the doctor without bringing the other one. It's not like you can leave anyone in the car or at home. That's bad, dangerous, and illegal. So how would you do it? Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe, because it means a lot to me. You guys rock, and I'll see you next time. Bye.